KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
You know, this is something that's real passionate to me. I am the executive director of Crisis Pregnancy Center. And in that calling, you know, I see young ladies and young men coming through our doors with a lack of fathering. And when we see that lack of fathering, when they witness a strong male figure, something in them takes place. Something positive takes place within them. And what's interesting about that is that they begin to see themselves in a positive light. Please understand this, that every single social ill that we're dealing with is directly or indirectly related to fatherlessness. Do you realize that close to 81% of teen pregnancies come from fatherless homes? I'm talking 80% of all of our kids that are on the street right now, homeless, fatherless homes. We're talking 71% of the male population in the penal system right now, fatherless homes. Now, these are just a few of the documented stats. I mean, the economic impact cannot even be calculated because it's estimated that 41% of the kids that are in fatherless homes will be poorer than their biological dad. It is just absolutely astonishing. Now, again, I'm the executive director of Crisis Pregnancy Center here in Reno, and I've developed a program called Daddy Academy. Now, the probability of these young men coming through our doors, understanding what it is to be a father, it's pretty dim. Pretty dim, especially in light of the facts that I just mentioned. And so what we've done is we develop programs and we develop workshops that are specifically designated to help them see the importance of fathering. And we've expanded this not only to our community outreach, and not only in our areas of our teens, but we also spread it out in the community. We've got local judges that have grabbed a hold of our programs. We have local people that are seriously involved.
Man, dads matter, man. Yes. But if you're going to be a father, shouldn't you take on the responsibility of healing your wounds? Last week, we talked about generational curses being generational tasks, right? Generational curriculum. If you're going to be a father, shouldn't you focus on healing yourself? Because children will model what you are. Then they'll go out into the world with the mindset of what they deserve, not really knowing that you get who you are. Ooh, that's heavy talk, right? If dads don't heal themselves in front of their kids, they're going to be teaching their kids how to be the wounded inner child that they are. So, men with a dad wound, they have a victimhood mindset. They have a feeling of inadequacy, and they tend to blame shift. Men with that unhealed father wound are seeking the feminine nurturer. Right? Okay. There might be an addiction to porn. A few other things might be had. 4 signs. Those 4 signs, again, the victimhood mindset. You are feeling inadequate and blame shifting. You are seeking the feminine nurturer. She has to take care of you. And you know, the invert of that is this thing that they're calling out there in the internet, mothering. Men want to be mothered. They might have a daddy wound, bruh. Papa trauma, as our clinician clip told us earlier. Papa trauma. And then there may be an addiction to porn. This is heavy stuff. But if you want to be a dad, fathers, men should not resist shadow work. It's going to be better for everybody, right? It's going to be better for your woman. It's going to be better for the children that she has given you, that you guys have created together. It's going to be better if you heal in front of them. You healing in front of them is like seeing a wounded God heal in front of them. Did y'all hear listen to what I'm saying? When you can heal in front of your kids, because to your children, that's who you are. You're everything in the beginning. They see you and they're like, oh my God. If you heal in front of them, you are supernatural. And then you let them know, well, he healed in front of me and I'm from him. Or she healed in front of me and I'm from her. That means it's in me. When they see something miraculous in you, it inspires them to know that it is within them. Heavy, heavy stuff. Let's get Callie Soul in here. Callie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Top of the evening to you, good brother.
Hey, how are you, sister girl?
I'm just fabulous. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
Eyes, too, am alive and well.
Amen. Amen. So, from my understanding, first of all, great topic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you're, focusing on fathers, but I think that the topic does not need to be gendered. I think that whether you want to be a mother or whether you want to be a father, you need to do your inner work before you step into that role.
No, I agree. But the reason why I made it that way is because when I'm online, the perception from watching all of these videos is that men are somehow not spiritual. Men are somehow not tapped into the shadow work, not tapped into the inner work. And what I have noticed is there are a lot of women out there who are tapped into spiritual practices, but may not understand the real use of them. Like any spiritual practice is for your internal healing. It's not for you to try to bend reality. When you heal, you bend reality natural, right? But if you try to take reality into your own hands before you heal, it's almost like black magic
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the videos that I was seeing and the information that I was seeing, it was sending a message that men are somehow not really spiritual. They're just more stoic, more linear, more logical. So I was like, I don't know. I know me. I've been on a journey for a very long time. So, and I've been doing this work for many, many decades now. So what are your thoughts?
What I have to say to that is, from what I've noticed, and this doesn't have to be the truth, but it seems that spirituality, the Holy Spirit, the higher self, and the ability to tap into that is feminine energy.
Go deeper. Yes.
So it would seem that if a person has a problem turning within, then there might be an imbalance of the masculine.
Yes. Come on. Yes. Continue. You cooking.
And I used to think that it was our mother's job to teach us spirituality, because fathers teach us accountability. They're going to hold your feet to the fire. But that's a stable energy, whereas feminine energy is flow. So it totally makes sense that feminine energy matches with spirit, kind of like in Buddhism when they talk about the yin and the yang energy.
I don't know why you stopped. You cooking. What? I'm over here taking notes and learning.
I want to read you an excerpt from The Way of Mastery. And this will be in part 2, lesson 16, Fear Has Taken Its Final Form. And it says, if you were lucky, both parents consciously desired to use the body as a communication device for teaching only love, and gave one unto another, and then accepted that little spark of light that begins yet the birthing of another body, and clearly invited another soul to come and abide with them as teacher and friend, as brother and sister. Unfortunately, that is yet rare upon your planet. Right?
Wow.
That knocked me all upside my head when I read that.
Man.
So again, both parents need to do their work and take accountability and be intentional about the soul that they are joining to bring onto this plane.
I love it. Callie, guess what you just did?
How about Grace in the building?
You already know. Denver, Colorado. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine, the protocol. You already know how we do. 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. When we come forward, we going to Houston, Texas.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com smileyaudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertiri Plessy. Nefertiri felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I just want to get your attention. Hey girl. I really want to be all up in your head. Yeah, cause what I got you gon' wanna get some. Yeah, but girl, that's only if you ain't scared. And I won't knock, won't ring no bell. You just put that bottom up in the air. I'll get you hot, I know you want so well. And when I walk in, all that I want is you say, Daddy's home for me. And I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. You know your daddy's home and it's time to sex. Yeah, so you ain't got to give my love away. So all my ladies say, hey, 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 daddy, hey, hey. So all the ladies say, hey, 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 daddy.
Hello and welcome back to the Guava's Grace podcast channel, where we show gratitude for the grace of God and we use our gifts to glorify Him. Welcome back to another episode, family. I'm so excited to have you guys here because I feel the Holy Spirit wanted me to talk about this subject, and I had so many ideas, so many plans for different content, and I even have about 5 to 6 videos that I haven't even edited yet that are just sitting in my archive because the Holy Spirit has been leading me in somewhat of a different direction than what I actually plan to do on my own. And it's not that I won't be using that content, I still will. It's just the way that God has pressed it upon my heart to speak about this subject. I just can't be disobedient. I have to communicate the things that God is wanting me to share with you guys based on what is a priority to Him and not what's a priority to me. And today we're going to be talking about a sensitive subject because even though it is common and even though it is something that we see that is familiar to many people in many families, we have normalized it as common and normal. And unfortunately, God wants you to know that it is not normal. And so what we're going to be talking about today is the Father. How the Father is a father to the fatherless and how God is a father to you. And in order for you to heal your father wound, you need Jesus Christ. Before we dive straight into the video, I would love if you are a new subscriber to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. It allows YouTube to know that I am really doing content and creating content that is good. And
I had to play that because my question now becomes, how does religion factor in? She said, God needs you to be the father to the fatherless. And in order for you to be a father, you need Jesus Christ. Or maybe even Muhammad or Buddha. Should there be a spiritual element to fathers when they are raising or tasked with raising children? Callie Soul was just on the line from Denver, Colorado, and she said she believed that the spiritual process is a feminine process, or it taps into the feminine side. Men and women both have masculine and feminine sides. Got it. And she alluded to the point that men have to tap more into their feminine side in order to get locked into the spirit piece. Okay. Well, do you think men are struggling because they feel uncomfortable not having an answer? Because sometimes spirituality doesn't give you direct answers. Maybe men are more logical and rational. I think that's what Callie was alluding to. But at the end of the day, if you don't conquer you in front of those kids, you're going to injure them. It's going to be a spiritual injury. Now, you've heard people say attachment injuries. You've heard people say narcissistic injury. You've heard all of these terms. If you are a father or a mother in front of kids, raising children, and you don't defeat you, there will be a spiritual or psychological injury passed on to the child. And I'm asking the question, are men out there, do they see this as hocus pocus? I'm very interested to know. We got Attila from Houston, Texas on the line. Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts?
Uncle Zoe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? This is a very, very good topic.
Thank you.
So I have a question for you. When it comes to healing in regards to a man's perspective, right? So how do you heal in a society that turns your weakness into entertainment?
Gosh.
Because
and it got a check at the end of it.
I'm just saying, like,
wow.
Because if your weakness is the thing that essentially helps you propel forward in certain circumstances, healing doesn't really look that appealing. So.
Wow, I could get paid for being debaucherous.
Mm-hmm. Especially as Black folks, right? So, especially when who you are as a person, just as a human being, has been denied, rejected, abandoned, right? You don't even really know who that person is, and you basically have to reintroduce yourself to yourself. Mm-hmm. But it's also profitable for you to continue to deny yourself. How do you heal? How do you even approach that?
Well, you first off, you have to be willing to partake in the process of healing, right? Mm-hmm. And as we talked about last week, healing is making oneself whole. But listen, can I make it clear? In this society, a check is tangible. And if I can get a check from my toxicity, that's devil's food cake. That's German chocolate cake. That's chocolate mousse. That's the high end stuff. That's Rocky Road ice cream with peach cobbler inside of it. It's hard to turn that down. I don't have to heal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then the flip side of it is healing doesn't always feel good. And when you're healing, you don't always see the light at the end of the tunnel either.
That part.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my life. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Well, so when you talk about the spiritual component, right, and logic versus emotional and all of that, I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I wonder if it's more so an attachment to the material and that constant push and strive to provide tangible results, but you're asking me to do work that is spiritual and intangible. How does that work?
Again.
If that's been my entire, I'm just saying, if that's been my entire conditioning and upbringing is to provide, protect, tangible, and now you're telling me to do something that is intangible, and that part of myself is possibly dead somewhere.
Well, no, let's just say it's not intangible. It's just not tangible in the way that you're accustomed to receiving, payment for your work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit, you could be doing the work for many, many years, and you think you're not seeing progress until you get outside yourself. If you understand, you see what I'm saying? And you get outside yourself and you go, wow, now that I'm taking notes, man, I'm really a lot different now since I've been doing this work than I was when I first started this work. Oftentimes, again, you live in a transactional, capitalistic, materialistic society, so instant gratification is a big piece of that, right? But spirit doesn't work that way. You grow internally, externally, up, down, left, right, sideways, right? You invert, what is it? How did Dr. Baum, David Baum, author of Wholeness and the Implicate Order, it's infolding and exfolding. Like there's an implicate order and an explicate order. All of this is happening simultaneously, right? What was the movie? This is the best way to put it. This is the name of this movie that Jamie Lee Curtis won the Oscar for. What movie is that? Every win, everything, every now, or whatever it is. It was basically a movie about superposition and quantum mechanics. If you know anything about quantum mechanics, right? Superposition is the state an electron is in before the wave function or the probability wave collapses. So the electron is actually a probability wave. And when you look at the probability wave, when they talk about the mathematics of it, they basically say the electron is everywhere simultaneously. It's everywhere. Right? It's not in one location. It is absolutely everywhere, right? The name of the movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once. When I tell you the movie is absolutely amazing, go watch it. It's incredible, right? Take it from Zoe. It's incredible. It's deep. It's heavy. It's all of that. But superposition, right? And then once you try to observe the electron, the probability wave collapses, and now the electron appears or has a solid state form where it has a location. Now, when we come forward, we're going to break all of that down.
I'll get you hot. I know you so well. And when I walk in, all that it should say Daddy's home, home for me. And I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. You know your daddy's home.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A pastor and civil rights activist is seeking early release from a federal prison in South Georgia. Pastor Kenneth Glasgow was ordered this past July to serve 30 months behind bars after pleading guilty to drug charges. Now he's asking to be released early due to a myriad of medical conditions. He says the medical issues will increase his chance of sickness or death if he remains locked up at the minimum security prison in Jessup. The Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct is recommending a black Shelby County judge be removed from office. Judge Melissa Boyd has been suspended since May of 2023 after she admitted to using drugs and was charged with coercing and harassing her campaign manager. Boyd's term ends in 2030, but the Board of Judicial Conduct has recommended her removal from office. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world. If we care enough.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance,
plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus.
For all of us.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
why should we be silent?
Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you.
With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected. Neglected my effort, a pair with no trust. Dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor. And I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building live, KBLA Talk 1580. We're having a great conversation. And I'm on the line with Attila from Houston, Texas. And I went on this whole diatribe about superposition, right? Before we came full circle after having come forward, right? Superposition. I use the scientific principle of superposition in the same way that Dr. Mario Buquet uses the 7 generations and the 257 or 255 genetic storylines that you get from your ancestors. She said if you go back, 7 generations, there are a lot of genetic stories, right? Generational curses that are encapsulated, embodied, encoded in you. Superposition. And why is that relevant to what Attila was asking? Because in the spiritual sense of answering questions, you might be getting a fragment of an answer from a problem that originated 7 generations ago. This is why spirituality and the answers that come from it seem fragmented or seem intangible. You don't really know if the work you're doing is actually working because it's working on a multidimensional level, on a multi-consciousness level. You have no idea what old wounds you might be reconciling by doing the right thing today. You could be healing something that Pawpaw from your 12th great Pawpaw, passed on to you. This is why I often question if men understand the spiritual nuance of what it means to look into the shadow, of what it means to reconcile the shadow, try to integrate the shadow into your persona, right? It's tough. Attila, what are your thoughts?
I think you're exactly right. I'm just listening.
Attila's like, what in the world is Zoe talking about?
But even the superposition part, right? When you're talking about energy collapsing, and then there's a location when everything kind of comes together.
That's you. You're the electron.
Right. So, but if you're everywhere all at once, trying to do everything all at once, in a sense, like play God, is the issue that perhaps we should be more focused on presence and coming to that location. I'm just
I
a
don't.
thought. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're playing God in that sense. I think what happens is you've come here for a particular lesson. Every experience you've ever had, it's believed that if we talk about superposition, every experience you've ever found yourself in, you selected it before you got here because you wanted to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
So one thing that I wanted to kind of bring up on the spiritual tip in regards to dads, right? 3 things that I got from my father, 3 blessings, I would say. The first being the blessing of admonishment. The second, the blessing of identity, and the third, the blessing of purpose. And these are just 3. I mean, obviously you can get more than 3, but admonishment. I mean, it's something that I had to learn, and I think I saw this from watching my dad, was that it's okay and it's necessary to be wrong, right? When you're talking about identity, you know, to know my dad is to know me because he's part of me. And so I think it's important to really seek out those, as you say, the answers, but the answers in the questions that you ask, right? And when we're talking about purpose, you know, those moments in not knowing what to do or feeling like you don't know what to do is making a way for that bigger picture because, as you've already stated, we already selected this. Everything's coming together in the way that it's supposed to. So, yeah, I think that fathers are so necessary for that reason.
Absolutely, Atala. And guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Atala brought Houston in the building. Y'all know how we do. You know who next. Y'all get ready. Get ready for some food for thought. I want you to get your pens and papers, and I want you to sit down, and I want you to think about what's about to happen. One of our favorite sisters is in the building. We love to hear from her. Nikki from the SIP. Get in here.
Brother Zoe and the fam.
Sister girl, talk to us.
Well, we've had lots of food for thought this evening, all of which was good. Some things to consider.
Yes.
I think we can't start without considering spirituality from the beginning. When we talk about source, God, whatever deity works for you, one cannot show up and be present without the consideration of source. When we ask the question, can you provide examples of how a man's presence as a father figure differs from that of a male sperm donor? I think that some of the answer is in the presence. It is that feeling when you can tell that your father is home or has entered the house, or a strong male figure at school, maybe a coach or some other male figure that one would look up to. That kind of presence makes a difference when one is considering a male boy versus a man. How the presence carries itself distinguishes it as a man or a male. Children grow up and do what they see, not what you say. So if there are no men for young men to see, they're not going to replicate that. For as far as young women are concerned, you must understand that for a daughter child, her father is her first love relationship.
Right.
So that male relationship teaches her what it's supposed to be like when she grows up and develops. So if that isn't what shows up and all she gets is the sperm donor, well, guess what? She's going to replicate the desire for what it is that she has self-esteem exhibited.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that inherently men are generally more resistant to spiritual or shadow work. I think that, one, they come to it late.
Why is that?
Because the awakening for particularly men of color in our society, the awakening from a spiritual perspective comes later. Because so much of their development early, including in the womb, is pressed into production, protection, providing what currency of the day is important. And so the development of the part of us spiritually that has to be awake comes later for a man generally, I think. I don't think he's resistant. I think that he may not be aware in two ways. One, if he's not yet awake, then he doesn't know perhaps that some of the circumstances he's in is a representation of the reflection of the thing he needs to fix. And the other way, I think he may be unaware, particularly if he's a sperm donor and he's not present. He doesn't yet understand that his reactions, his emotions that he exhibits, if it's coming from a wounded place, and his child is watching that, or any child is watching that he's around consistently, he doesn't know that that child is going to represent that thing he's doing.
Wait, hold tight. Hold that thought, Nikki. Soon as we come forward, I want you to continue cooking. Nikki from the SIP, always taking us to the kitchen and cooking up a spiritual meal.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Remember a child's place is what I often heard while asking about the things that no adolescent could imagine. Trying on the pants of a man that I had not yet become, hands too small to button the buttons my father often fastened. While speaking on his dreams and ambitions, although I could never understand, there was comfort that I listened with mention to be better than him. Yeah, be a better man in a world of negligence, pedophilic meddling, son, don't trust your reverend. When they settle in for settlements, lock your door, shut your windows, don't let the devil in. The media graffiti yo with relishments, money, cars, and clothes, I suppose what successful is. They say sow your oats, it's natural to experiment, but don't suck and run amok, be celibate. Only 14 when I first cut, I wasn't her first, I had to strap up and thank God for them condoms that my papa gave me. Cause a convo by birds and bees wouldn't save me from a child I couldn't shoulder. Pushing in a stroller down the streets of 3OB while all my homies asked to hold him. Proceed to play ball when he cried they can't console him. I truly wasn't ready for kids, that's what he told me. I had a rich
My
dad.
playlist is incredible tonight. That's Big Crick. Woo wee. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Big Crick. We on topic tonight. Great conversation. We got Nikki from the SIP. We winding down, final minutes, but I want to get her final thoughts up in here. She was cooking before we came forward. Nikki, please continue where you left off.
I was just saying that sometimes because our men come to their awakening later, if they see the behavior that they may consider bad or ill-behaved in a child, sometimes they don't recognize that as the broken place in them that the child is replicating, because that's what they see all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you talk about the nuclear family and how that impacts you overall, if the father's in the house or not in the house, if you're seeing that behavior all the time as a child, it's going to continue to replicate for some more generations until it runs into the one that wants to be the generational curse stopper.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that, it's necessarily men are more resistant. There are men who are resistant just because that's just hard to do as a person, let alone a man with the pressures of being one.
Right, of every day and working and
Right.
bills and protecting and providing and just everything, right?
That thing.
Right.
That thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that we need to do better that's what I meant when I was talking about presence earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just so much you showing up as a male person, but the presence of you showing up means all those things you just said imparting to whoever is in the family nucleus.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know? Because if dad is at home and you get out of pocket, guess what? You got out of pocket, and when dad gets home, guess what?
Right.
And you're not going to be with that dude and your dad find out. That's not going to happen at all. So when you understand that, philosophically speaking, that all you just said is what distinguishes a man from a male boy.
Woo, Nikki, guess what you just did?
I brought the sip in. I love you.
Oh, we love you, Nikki. Thank you for that. Man, Nikki don't be playing, man. She don't be playing. Tonight's topic was heavy, and it was nuanced, and it was rich, and nobody here proclaims to know everything. Believe me, I am a student when I sit in this seat because I want to learn from you guys, And tonight's topic, we covered the father wound piece. I was asked to do this topic, but the truth of the matter is I found purpose as a father. right? You know, I knew I was talented. I knew I could do a lot of things. I was smart. But once I became a father, I found purpose. And fatherhood actually led me deeper into my spiritual healing, because I knew I couldn't be the same kind of guy I was prior to having children than I was, with children. So, I knew I had to adjust. And man, when you give birth to a little boy, 2 little boys and a little girl, and you see their faces and they're looking at you and it's like a clean slate, bro, you cannot put none of that toxicity that's in you in them, So for everybody that was just tuning in, a father wound refers to the emotional and psychological impact of an absent, neglectful, or abusive father figure. It encompasses the unresolved issues and traumas that result from the absence of a nurturing and supportive fatherly presence. A father wound can manifest in various ways, such as difficulties in forming healthy relationships, low self-esteem, emotional instability, and a lack of direction in life. The impact of a father's presence, though, is what we really wanted to drill down on and talk about how fathers who heal in front of their children actually empower their children, actually equip their children with a spiritual understanding that is beyond dogma, that is beyond any holy book, but is in alignment with what those holy books talked about. The impact of a father's presence on psychological, spiritual, emotional, and physical development heading into adulthood is exceedingly significant. A present and engaged father figure provides guidance, support, and a sense of security. Their presence contributes to the development of a strong sense of self, emotional resilience, and healthy attachment styles. Moreover, a father's involvement can shape an individual's beliefs, values, and perspectives on life. But a father who is really still a broken little inner child trapped inside of a chronological adult is dangerous to a child, because the child is spiritual clay that molds to whatever he is, whatever they are. So you have to be very careful, right? You have to be very careful. We started the conversation, you end it. We don't have any right answers here, but we do know how to spark the conversation. Up next, you already know who's in the building, my friend, your friend, our friend, Jill Monroe. RSVP with Jill Monroe is up next. Get in here and talk to these people about what's going on in the world. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper.
June 30th, 11:07, I got that call. She 8 centimeters, my little man about to fall. Scuffing my Air Forces, running through the hospital hall. Deja vu like I've been here before. I'm feeling reborn, like a Bed-Stuy brethren, my firstborn. Dre, I'm about to have a bad boy.